Okay, now here we have a B20Vtec that's owned by Joyce, a girl racer, and that's her channel. You gotta check it out. And so it's in a SiR, so we're gonna rework it, and you can search her channel and look at that. Yes, sir, worth checking out, right? And Carlo brought the engine here, and Carlo and I go way back more than a decade, and they both work at Motul Flagship by Infiniteserv. So hey, all the cool projects is here. So now we're gonna check and everything, inspect and assemble it our way, and of course play test this because it's in stock pistons, stretch the ERP rod bolts. So hey, this is gonna be fun. Alright, first of all, our new page is up and running and we're still SRDmotorsports. The number 2 signifies just to let me make another page in Facebook because I haven't had the old page pulled down. So here, we even have the price list. This way, it's more of a transparency. This way, it's not like DM for prices or PM for price. It's just there. So here, we even talk about the stuff or the videos that we'll do for the members only section. And here you can see, we post reels even on the engines that we do daily on the shop or at the shop, because not every single engine that we do we get to make a video and put it on the channel. So hey, you gotta check out the page, hit like and follow, and of course we're gonna have the link in this description below. And even for Joyce, we'll have a link of her channel in the description below. So hey, let's go. So now let's go with the engine now. So the story here is Carlo called me up and said he was working on the B20Vtec, a stock block B20Vtec, but he was having doubts on how the pistons was installed because it wasn't him. However, the crankshaft installation, he did it himself. And I understood that because Carlo, like me, when he does his work, he always thinks about it like as if it's his own engine. So just when I build engines as if it's mine, I always look at ways to improve it as if it's mine, and also sometimes spend sleepless nights trying to wonder on how I can further improve the given setup. Okay, now here's the pistons removed. We actually removed the piston rings one by one and inspected and cleaned it up, and everything looks good now because this has brand new piston rings. So we relabeled the pistons from its respective bore. This way, when installing it later, it's easily visible and you know the count is good. Well, you can't really call 1, 3, and then 4, like a fire and order. But hey, somebody can do that. All right, here you are. The pistons are actually Carlo pocketed the intake valve or intake pockets to match the B16 head. This way, they're less prone to piston to valve contact. Here it is. After lubricating the piston rings, we hung it on our bench or on our fixture, and we checked the ARP head studs, and of course we had to use the ARP lube because it has ARP rod bolts. So we're gonna stretch this later after installing it properly. So now it's gonna be good. Yes sir, yes sir. Okay, now it's ready. Now we can actually install this. So hey, let's go install this, right? Let's go. All right, here we grab the Turco assembly lube for the rod bearings, the ring compressor. Yes, sir. Let's go to the engine stand. Oh, and of course, piston number 1. Now let's go to the engine stand. So we tap the piston, the compressor so it's flush, then easily drop in. We install the rod caps, of course, hand tight for now because we're gonna stretch this later, and we'll talk about that further when we're doing it. So here we go. Piston number 2 is next. We make sure the piston pin is lubricated with assembly lube because it'll take a few minutes before the oil gets thrown into the pin under the pistons when it's running. So to save it from further stress and galling, we make sure it's lubricated with assembly lube under. All right. Yes. Now piston number 3. Let's go. Let's go. There. Okay. Let's go back to the stand. Oh yeah. All right. So easy, you don't have to have extra cool tools and all that. It's just, when you're used to this, It's really easy, easier than expected. Okay, now the last one. Yes, we're almost done. Well, actually, we're done installing the pistons after this. There you go. Okay, now we get ready for the number one rod so it gets stretched. Okay, let's align. Okay, there. Okay, now we put the stretch gauge onto the rod bolt and then zero out the dial gauge. And I'll show you that. Let's get it there. Okay, we zero it. There. Wait, no, it's a bit more, a bit more. Okay. Let me unclip the phone. Let me get it and show you guys. Here, look. As you can see, it's zero because we listen this, so it's zero untied. Now, what we do is set the torque range between 26 to 28 feet-pounds torque, and we torque it. And if it doesn't stretch enough as 0.0055, what we do is we don't go tighter, because if you go tighter, you're going to ruin the oil clearances of the bearing. What we do is remove the bolt again and re-lubricate the threads in the bolt with the ARP fastener assembly lube. This way, the more you try it, you're gonna get closer and closer to it, because we lubed this well. This went right on the money. Now it's all done. Let's see how it's all. It spins really good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can hear the piston rings. It's riding really good. Now the next job, or the next thing we're gonna check, is we're actually gonna clay test this. So we got the clay on the intake pockets here, because we want to check. We're gonna advance, because it just has a B16A Gen 2 or EG cams. It's small, right? But we still want to make sure, because their facility has a dyno. So we advanced this 3 on the intake just to see. Now we didn't capture when we dropped in the head, but we checked it and we turned the engine. Now here it is. Look. Well, look closer. Look. That's way safe. That's really good, and good job, Carlo, for making sure this engine is safe when Joyce races it again. Yeah. Now with the bottom end all done, I have my colleague putting up the strainer, the oil pickup, and all the bolts and pieces, and of course a brand new oil pan gasket, not a gasket, sorry, and close it up. So now it's ready. We can drop in the head. Yes, sir. Okay, now here the ARP head studs first. Yes, hand tight, and then so that we can drop in the head and start torquing it. Yeah, it's almost done. There. Okay, just hand tight for all of this before we start doing the first step sequence. Okay, now here we go with step 1, which is 30 feet-pounds torque. This one's gonna be quick and easy because it's just low. The first step is easy. Okay, we don't have to time lapse this, but it's not gonna take too long. Yep, on the last side. Double check this. Okay, yeah. And then we go with the second step. Double check. All right. Okay, now on to the second step, which is 60 feet-pounds torque. Oh, it's a bit louder now. You can hear that, right? And yes, we gotta time lapse this. All right, we go on. And then the final one, 80 feet-pounds torque. Okay, now this is gonna be louder. Wait. Oh yes, louder. Come on. Okay, I have to use the grip of my hands. There. Okay. Now we time lapse the rest. Alright. Get in there. Okay. Now we gotta complete the top end stuff. Yes. And a little more about this engine. There's a B20Vtec with a ported B16A head stock block, but has a B16A Gen 2 EG cams. And what's cool about this is because it runs a P30 intake manifold. I calculated it before, and this will give it the power range. Here, look at this. The third harmonic, it'll be between 6923 RPM to 7912. So that's about 7,000 RPM to 8,000 RPM. So on her Civic SiR, which is a four-door, this is almost perfect because this would mean she's carrying all those power between the third gear and fourth gear down the track or down the quarter mile. So hopefully this time she improves her time even better. And so we're gonna add a little bit more stuff later to help her improve her best time. So this is gonna be a cool engine. Actually, a cool street engine. Yeah. And hopefully she doesn't get enticed to run Type R intake manifold. Because of the rare times now, I think the P30 intake manifold that she has is perfect. Because up to a CTR cam, this will be a good setup. Because if she runs an ITR manifold, then she would probably need a Pro 2 cams, which she would need higher compression pistons. The next thing you know, it's a race setup. But this is actually her street car. So this is actually perfect. And so hopefully they keep this together in this setup and not really, verge or move far away from this actual spirit of the engine, like the main theory here, or the main approach, sorry. And here we're gonna add one breather here. So hopefully it helps her perform on the racetrack when she races this. So this is gonna be a fun little engine. And of course, all work done here is by Carlo and her. We just assembled this. Carlo is an expert machinist, and the Motul Flagship by Infiniteserv has a full-blown machine shop that's operational now. So anything you need with regards to machining, they can take care of you. So you gotta check it out. Aside from dyno facility, they have a machine shop. So hey, here's their page. Visit them for your dyno and machining needs. Link to their page, it will be in the description below. So hey, check it out after watching this video. So here we are. We got the cam gear and belt all installed up, and it's almost all complete and all ready, right? Here you go. We got the last setting or the tappets done. So this is actually gonna be ready to run. So it's almost like a turnkey motor. So hey, this is gonna be a fun project for her. And we mocked up the valve cover just to see how it is. And so I know they're still gonna clean it up and all that. So when Carlo picks this up, we're actually gonna wrap it with saran wrap or cling wrap. This way, no dust particles get in the way or into the engine. This way, before startup, it remains clean and really good. Yes, sir. Now it's gonna be all ready and all good. Actually, it's gonna be a fun motor. And one thing here, I know that local shops or local sheet tree can't match with us is like this. Because we support all the people or all the ones that's true to the game, here we decided to give an extra breather fitting and the spout so that she can have a breather on her B20 because one is better than none. So instead of two, just one. But here it's all ready. Now she's ready to have a breather on her block. This way it runs more efficient. And now it's wrapped up and ready to be picked up by Carlo so that they can install this. So just in case you guys are curious with the engine, you gotta subscribe to her channel because I know I did, and you hit the notification bell so that we know when she starts running and goes back to racing once again. So it's gonna be fun. And also, don't forget to check the page of the Motul Flagship where they work. It's all awesome, and you can PM the shop page for dyno schedules and everything else. So hey, links to the Motul Flagship will be in the description below, including Joyce's page, channel. And of course, for you, you can just click here for more.